Bonjour, bonjour, good afternoon, buenos dias, konnichiwa, ni hao, um, yeah, jumbo. Welcome, brothers and sisters, to another video. And as of today, heirs of our Father's promise, I welcome you to a video of edifying, of truth, of love, and understanding. Now, why do we make these videos? Like always, it's always important that we keep a reminder of truth. Sovereignty is of loyalty, discipline, integrity as well. Because this modern world, it doesn't attack your finances. It might seem so, but your integrity is at stake. Your loyalty is at stake. See, a lot of people can't go seconds without thinking negative, and that's perfectly understandable when we're dealing with the things of this world. Subconsciously, we don't have to think negative, let alone exercise those negative thoughts. But remember what they are: influences, evil influences, indoctrinative influences, destructive influences. So they pave a path in mankind's understanding. That's the reason why we have words that describe magic. That's why we have those words that describe magic. And those magic, right, is used through our technological devices because that's what it is: alchemy, right? There are different aspects of alchemy. It can be sound, projective, you could say vibrate, well, sound vibrations. We have light, which is deceptive as well. So what you hear can be deceptive, and what you see can be deceptive. And all of those things work cohesively with your body in almost all the senses that you can personally fathom. Okay? Now, today we're going to get into the chapter or the chronicle of Saints Mark. You know why we're going to get into the chronicle of Saints Mark? And you know the reason why we're going to get into the chronicle of Saints Mark? Well, it's because chapter 11 speaks about, well, the topic of today says, you can add color to gray if gray is manipulation. All lies will be exposed. You can't add gray. Well, you can add color to gray. You can, but it's going to be bland. It's not going to make sense. It's not going to be vibrant. It's going to be dark. So all things that is in the darkness will come to light. So we're always going to start with what? Contradiction. As we're going to be in, I got a verse this time, okay? Be proud and happy about that today. I got a verse, okay? So we're going to start with verse 15, and we're going to go to verse all the way to 18. And the subject for verse 15 says, destroy the marketing scams from within. And who did that? Expose them. It was Christ. Okay, so let's read it. And what does it say? But after they made it to Jerusalem, seeing the temple and its chaotic ethics, Christ went in and began to cast out all of those that were marketing within this place. As soon as he locked eyes, and he continued causing order through chaos of their wrongdoings. He gave everyone there a hard time if they were suspicious of selling anything, as he halted their carriers. From there he taught and spoke loudly, saying, "Isn't it said that my house should be a place of prayer, and not that which is for thieves?" Mm. Why do you think Christ said these things? And why does it connect as a contradiction of the modern time? It's because the church is a place where people sell their trinkets. See, you don't need to have to wear a cross to be considered a Christian, because a cross, when we're talking about a real cross doesn't signify anything. You can wear a cross around your neck all day, 24/7. It would not signify anything. It's nothing but an object. See, the problem with nowadays Christians is they value their faith based off the materialism. Now, I'm going to tell you this. When you attach yourself being a spirit in the flesh, when you die, you attach your spirit, and your spirit is attached to those things as well. Your whole soul will be attached to those things as well. So higher density, lower mass. What do you think happens? You're not going to climb up. So lower mass, lower density will keep you trapped in this place. Lesser mass, higher density will allow you to elevate, right? So the more things that you hold on to, that is not in a figurative, that's not a figurative way of me giving you that word. The things that you hold on to that are physical is the things that will trap you. So when you're in this water, right? Because if you don't think that air doesn't carry water, I don't know what to tell you. Let alone, what do you think space is, right? All of these things have a purpose. All of it. So when people are not aware of it, it stops making sense to them. Okay? Like I said, what relevates to this world and exactly what that statement, was said about. Like I said, trinkets. This world is ran by money. So imagine the people that gloat only because they have money and things to gloat about. Where the same people, if they were thrown in a forest, survival skills would have been at zero. Maybe a couple weeks to a couple months. They don't know how to filter water. They don't know how to start fire. None of these things are important to them. They don't know the differences between the type of animals to consume and those not to, those that are poisonous and those that are not. And I'm not saying here be a caveman, but let's really think about it. A lot of people are talking about the 666, but they don't think about why the 666 will even exist. It's because people are not looking at what the 666 is. They think it's a tattoo and a tattoo alone. Anything that is used against Christ is 666. Just the same way as the Antichrist. Any spirit that is not of Christ, that is Antichrist, is Antichrist. Literally, contradictive spirits, Antichrist. Doesn't matter what it is. People are taking these words figuratively in the sense of, the most basic ways. No, because your enemies have known of the word and the truth way longer before you came in this world. So they know how it influences you through vibration, through color, through light, vibration. They know all of the trinkets. They know the origin of what is and what is not. And we're here just walking like zombie. Yes, I'm gonna spend $20,000 on a handbag that I'm barely gonna use. And I'm only gonna bring it around people because I want people to think that I have a whole bunch of money and I have a whole bunch of this. These are the same people that think that all of those people that have all of that money, they can even. Do you really think that? And this is the question that I pose to people a lot because I'm very astonished at the fact that there are people that are out here in this world walking, thinking that, yeah, if I go to school, do this and that, and I get this type of degree, that I'm gonna make a couple of millions to a couple hundreds of thousand if I open up a shop and I have a business, that they're gonna just be out here making it, making millions of dollars without joining some type of society or group. The only way that will happen is if you are truly with Christ, Yahuwah. If you're truly without Elohim, that's the only way. Because if you're not with that, trust and believe, they're going to target you. They might not aggressively do it at the beginning, but eventually things are going to progress to a point where you will get cornered. And that's how they get people, because a lot of people are not spiritually protected because they're following the order and the trend of this world. And that's what they want you. They're going to clap for it. They're going to be like, congratulations. You followed the trend. You followed the instructions that millions of people before you that used to live followed before they died. hmm There's not a lot of, it's not as much as, there's not as much true Christians than there are those that are not. There are more, there are true Christians. I give you guys the calculations. It probably rounds up to a couple of, maybe like a mil, a couple of hundreds of thousands. Not definitely not 20 mil, 50 mil, 100,000 mil. There are about 12 billion people in this world. And sometimes when I look at these commercials, they start to talk about 7 billion, 6 billion people. That lets you know something, that there's going to be a mass destructive, chaotic problem that's going to come ahead of time. And a lot of people are not watching these things. They're just like, oh, the commercial sounds great. This person is this politician is, you know, arguing about this, and they telling you these things in your faces. The same fact that we have presidents that should be, you know, not be presidents at the age that they are. They should be somewhere in a retirement home or in their home dealing with their grandkids and minding their business. That's that's who we have as presidents, faces of this nation. Now, for you that sit at home, that vote for these people, you don't care about your nation. So I can care less about a lot of this publicized opinion that people throw at me. And I say this very direct because realistically, somebody that's 80 years old, especially in this modern time, is closer to death than you are. So we don't have people that are in their 40s, their 30s to be presidents. We can't get somebody in their 30s or 40 to be presidents. Well, what is going on? Why is it that we cannot do such a thing? Why is it always somebody that's in their 70s or 60s? Why is it never somebody in their 40s or 50s or 30s? Remember what I said. Um, it's just very important that we all start to see how things are working in this world. Because this world, this country is going to be destroyed. And I'm telling you this because it only makes sense the way when you look at how everything is mapped out. even the whole states. When you look at it from a bird's eye view, it looks like a motherboard, like a chip. So when you look at things from different perspectives, right? And people see all of these pictograms placed on a lawn, on some type of farm where they, I forgot the name of it, where you see all of these circles showing these, signs and all of this stuff. Those are nothing but just hoax. Because if you ever really been on a plane or some type of helicopter and you look at things from below, you will see that the world resembles a motherboard, some type of chip. So to say that what? They're connecting you guys to a virtual reality, a virtual realm. They're going to plug you up to a computer, and we've watched the movies like The Terminator and all of this. What do you think is going to happen when somebody's conscious, right? Alters some type of AI. We're smarter than AI, but AI is going to become a virus onto us. Yes, we're going to control a lot. AI, what is AI going to do? AI is going to fry some of the attributes of our own understanding. We're going to be like literal robots. And imagine these people that are in the background doing the typing, the defecting, the altering. You're going to be walking like a zombie. Because what are you if you don't have the own rights to your own body and your mind? You're a zombie. The walking dead. That's what you are. And that's what you will be if you accept this world as it's going and furthering in this type of path. Don't get me wrong, I like technology. I don't love technology. I like technology. It makes things easier for me to understand things that I don't need to, put efforts like 90% efforts on trying to do things. It's easy, right? So if something was like a 90% effort that you needed to do, now you only need to put 40 to 50 to 60%, sometimes even 70. But I don't need an AI to help me think within my body. I don't care how smart it can make me. The moment that the moment that your consciousness can leave your body, let me give you guys this aspect. My apologies. If you, well, if they can understand how you think based off of what frequency that these Wi-Fi's signals are picking up off of your chemical reactive body, right? There's a specific name for it. If they can read the motions of how you behave through those things, imagine what they can do now in a sense of the things that they're not telling people. They already got things that can see through your buildings, bones, flesh, blood, vessels, all of it. So are we still following these rules? Is it that people are scared or afraid? Because personally, I don't care how much money somebody offer me. You're telling me I have to stay silent while I see people suffering and you controlling death and life at the palm of your hands when it's not you and neither is it your choice or within your power to do so. See, I made a rap song based off of how the world is, when it comes to tangible mindsets, heart, emotional, spirit. A lot of people are going through trauma and they don't even know why. Let's go to verse 18, though. I want to make sure that I give you guys all of what I came here for. Verse 18, the subject for that says, messing up business when the scribes and the chief priests heard. Oh, messing up business. My apologies. Let me reread that. And it says, when the scribes and the chief priests heard, they planned on his downfall, for all of their business were put to halt. At the moment, they couldn't do nothing to him because they feared him due to his logic and reasonings, knowing that if they really went against him, people would have questioned them. And that's exactly what happens when we are looking at laws that don't make sense. People question the presidents and all of the lawmakers because why? It don't make sense. But then if it fits people's narratives, people don't care. So they try to make it equivalent by either giving people what they want, but by putting it on a bait for them to accept a certain condition that come with it, or they just don't give it to you at all. When it really you don't need to ask them, and that's the problem. Let's go to verse 27. The subject for that one says, "Mad, their charades were busted." All right, and when it says, so they made it back to Jerusalem again, and the chief priests, scribes, and elders approached him and asked him, by what authority does he have to have caused all that he's done at the temple? My apologies. Mm-hmm. All right, Christ then told them to answer his question. Also, then only will he communicate. So he then asked, saying, the washing of John, was it of the spirit of Eli or humans' ideals? Verse 31, let's read that one. And the subject say, they didn't want to destroy their lives in the market they have built. All right? And that's the subject right there. Hearing this, they thought to themselves, knowing that if they answered that, it will cause a huge ruckus. And many will wonder why they don't believe Christ. Because they believed in John, and John, openly, and John openly accepted Christ. So if they denied Christ, they would have denied John. So that would have really completely destroyed their business. It's like saying you have somebody to basically sponsor whatever that you got. So they wanted to use Christ as a some type of sponsored item to sponsor their business. That's another reason why they were following him everywhere. It wasn't because they wanted him to help them. That's why Christ was annoyed every time he saw the Pharisees, the scribes, because he knew exactly they were up to no good. They wanted to use him just like any celebrities when it comes to artists, right? That is new, or I want to say celebrity, but any new artist that is being put on, they prey on you. They prey on you. They're going to send you everything to gaslight you, to make you change, to make you throw away your beliefs, to try to throw therapists on you, to try to make you feel like you're crazy, to try to talk you down, to try to talk you up. They're going to give you this roller coaster of emotions that once you get to a point where like you're just accepting of anything, that's when they just like, okay, he became another one of them. They will pay people to act just so that they can have you. Just so that they can have you. And this is where integrity comes from because a lot of people, if they don't join their foolery, what would they do? They're gonna join a society that might not get them to do some of these humiliated, actions and stupidity. But that will still put them in a bind. And majority of them, they might not be in those stuff, but they got family members that's incorporated in those type of things. And you see how a lot of these kids they get used as sacrifices and they die. Some people say that it's a star ring. I could care less about those businesses because it doesn't concern me. But contract. Just because a contract says something doesn't mean that in the spiritual realm that is not the same thing. Give me one moment, please. My apologies. I don't know what just happened, but I just was attacked just not too long. I don't know where some type of perverted, contradictive, some type of stupidity just happened to come alongside my mind. I don't know what that was, but I had to interject that immediately and renounce that from my body, my mind, my heart, my spirit, because like I told you guys, I don't play around this stuff at all. It's a real battle. And a lot of people wouldn't even know what it is. And it immediately left. It knows its place. I told it, it knows its place. It knows its place. It does all the things that it wants to do, but it doesn't control me. Not my mind, not my heart, and neither my spirit. But let's continue. What does it say in verses 31? The subject says they didn't want to destroy their lives in the market they built. Hearing this, they thought of themselves, knowing that if they answered that, it would cause a huge ruckus, and many will wonder why they don't believe Christ. But also, they knew that if they say men, the people would turn against them and all they built, for they know that John was, for all they built, for they know that John was truly a prophet. So they said to Christ that they don't know. So he told them he's neither required to tell them also. Mm. So a lot of people would try to use this, wish-wash scenario to basically use your words against you type of situation. And it's kind of quite remarkable how the enemy plays their role when it comes to these type of stuff. And they're really versed at it too. Reverse psychology is one of their tactics. And they would try to gaslight you. I'm talking crazy. Like I was saying, a lot of the artists, they're really into shams, like where there are a lot of actors out here where people will get paid to be on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, Discord, and all things just to give you information to distract you, just to see if they can anger you, just to see if they can manipulate you and somewhat hold you to a thread where they can have a way to gloat because you are a prize. If they have you, you're a prize. So they have a reason to talk, right? They have a reason to be boastful because they were like, oh, I only spent $50,000. Now I got this person in my palms. Some of them they spend maybe a couple hundreds of thousands of dollars, but then some of them they spend a couple of millions, and it still doesn't work the way that they want. See, the law is somebody can hurt you, but when you're not putting yourself in a scenario for them to hurt you, right? You don't accept their terms and their conditions. If they hurt you, that karma gonna go back to them, and they know that. And it's not karma; it's just common sense logic, cause and effect. Especially when you hurt, you know, our creators, people. It's not gonna be a pretty sight. Give me 1 second. Let me drink a little bit of some water. All right. So now, you know, less of that. Let's talk more so inspiration. All right. And of course Mark 11, but no verse. But hey, at least we got, well, no number to the verse. At least we got it though. At least we got the verse. Well, I already know what this is about, so I'm just gonna break it down. So this is about a fig tree that Christ and his disciples went down to Bethany, and Christ encountered a fig tree, saying that it bare no fruit. He told the fig tree that it was going to perish. And upon them coming back, right, the fig tree perished. And Yeah, the fig tree perished, right? And basically, they saw that it perished. So the moment that Christ told the fig tree to perish so that it bears no more fruits, when they went to Bethany and they came back, the fig tree perished and the fig tree withered. And it did not take a long time for it to happen, just one day, just to show how powerful the words of someone's tongue is, right? So let's continue on that, right? Verses actual 24, because I got 24 right here. Uh, Verses 24. And the subject for this says, purposely know and affirm but reflect. And it says, so when you pray, believe that it's already yours and you shall receive. Also, as you pray, forgive many to also that Eli can also forgive you. Know that Yahuwah would not forgive you if you don't and do not forgive. So a lot of times we pray and somebody has done us wrong and we don't forgive. And you know what happens? That's called hatred, anger. So when you hold on to anger and hatred, what makes you think that your prayers are going to be answered at all? Not even a little bit. Like when you don't forgive, right? What makes you think that your prayers are going to be answered? Remember, Christ, Yahuwah is not the only person that answers prayers. The devil also answers prayer. So when people get that in their mind, understand that the way that we've been taught to pray is not the same way we're supposed to pray. We're supposed to pray knowing that our Creator already knows us, knowing that our Creator already knows us. So why does it say that we have to love people? Then we say that Yahuwah, please punish this person, destroy this person. No, Yahuwah, forgive this person. Allow your punishment to be a lesson upon their lives based on how you will it to be. Give them the same unconditioned love that you've given me, the potential that you saw in me to escape the hands of my enemy and turn to you in Christ. Allow such a thing to be so unto them, for they are not my enemies, but the enemies from within them are those that are against me. When you look at people like they're your enemies, even if they attack you, they can never grow. They can never have the aspect of knowing that they can be better than what they are now. Because at the end of the day, you're fueling the demon hatred. You're fueling the demons, animosity, evilness, wickedness. You're fueling it. Because what's going to happen is the person is going to get emotional and the demons are going to react based on that person. That's how that usually works. So, what normally happens? They're going to come and attack you. So, when you are an example, you don't follow the trends of this world. You don't have to have millions of dollars to be an example. People like watching me. So I give them a good reason for them to watch, not on negativity, but on positivity and upon the glory of my Father. That's why I'm unbothered when people see me. People like to watch me physically, spiritually, virtually, however that it is. Some others, they might say I'm boring. Some people might say I'm interesting. But interest and boring don't always go together. So it must be a certain subject of things that I talk about or things that I say, things that I know that makes me not boring. Because yes, in reality, you can consider me boring because I don't go to parties. I don't indulge in this polygamy stuff. I don't indulge in this homosexual stuff. I don't indulge in these things. So yes, maybe I might be boring because I don't partake in, the Rastafarian practices of smoking. I don't practice, drunkenness. I used to drink, I used to smoke. Maybe I am boring. That I don't take the time to learn certain chords so that people can vibrantly steal my energy and try to use me as a puppet. Mm. What if, like, remember that I said that a lot of these artists are being preyed on. So there are how many people that have talents in this world. So imagine you getting preyed on. That means that your talent is not just a talent; it's a talent that can develop and be used for the wrong purpose because what is it called, the aptitude of your growth has a bigger impact than many other people. That's what that means, meaning your destiny cannot be changed. So imagine, I hear a lot because I get on YouTube, right? Sometimes a lot actually, and I see a lot of these quote unquote prophecy, this and that, and people talking about destiny swaps. Understand that if something is truly meant for you, it doesn't matter how many people have had their hands on it. When it's gonna come to your turn for you to have your hand on whatever the destiny is, it's gonna be as clean as as clean as the color white, as clear as it can be, even if it's dirt up. Just a little wash will just washing it alone will make it cleaner than whatever and however many people had it. So somebody can fight for something that is not for them, and they think that because they can fight it for you, from you, that maybe you might give up. Maybe you might not want it. Maybe it's not for you because you feel like it's not. Then once you do get it, they start looking stupid because they don't realize that it's not for them. Sometimes things might be given to you. That's why we never prioritize the things that are materialistic. We're doing it for the glory of our Creator, not for us. And that's where people get stuck at, the ego, the pride, the influence, the power, because they don't even realize that all of those things that we gain is from above. So when we lose sight of these things, we lose the battle. So yes, somebody can steal something, but does it mean that it was actually yours? No. Because if it was easy for somebody to steal it, that means what? It wasn't yours. If it wasn't easy for somebody to steal it, that means it wasn't it still might not be yours. At the same time, it might not be theirs. It still might be yours, but they might come back and give it back to you because they can't bear that type of pressure. They can't bear that type of weight, that type of influence, that type of power. They can't bear it. See, it's like saying this. A lot of people want to be kings and queens of England and all of these lands and whatever. But understand that being a king and a queen, that comes with a lot. So a lot of people dream about these things until they gain access to these things. And then they lose their minds because it wasn't meant for them to gain. Because why? It was too much for them. Same thing with competitions. Some people they address people in a competitive way and they end up losing. They could have practiced 1,000 times, but they didn't practice not one time because they was boastful. So the person that they really prejudged and underestimated, that person, just like the turtle and the what? The rabbit. The turtle beat the rabbit in a race. The rabbit fell asleep because the rabbit thought that the turtle was not fast enough to make it there. That's just one aspect. Then you have a bear versus a gazelle, or a lion versus a gazelle. Imagine you're the lion and a gazelle come to just try to hit you with a horn. You're a lion, but then you avoid it the first time, knowing that you are a lion and you don't want to fight them because you know that you can destroy them and you choose not to. And they keep poking you, they keep trying you. That's what that looks like. A gazelle fighting a lion. Not the lion fighting the gazelle back, but just the gazelle provoking a lion. Now, when the lion is going to be tired, the lion will maul you. It will bite you. It will cut you. But I know that a lot of you will probably want to hear more about the celebrity stuff. So I'm going to say a couple more things about that. So, I feel like a lot of what's going on today is nothing but lies. So, a lot of people that are watching all of these things with the celebrities and this and that, all of that is a stunt. For a lot of people that don't know what acting means, if these people have acted in shows and movies, what makes you think that when they hop on these advertisements and these little snippets of comedy and all of this stuff, it's not an act? Some of them are not even in the place. They have people that are CGIing these studios just so that they can look like they're there, so that it seems as if things are the way that it looks like. I want you guys to really completely understand that. When you are in the film industry, a lot of times you're not even going to be in certain places. That's why when you see certain people in the red carpet, they be staring into oblivion at the things that is not considered the camera. And what do you think they're possibly looking at? If it's not demonic, don't know what else to tell you. Regular people do not get invited to the red carpets, neither to these parties and stuff. And of course, thank Yahuwah, I'm not invited to none of those things at all. If I go to a party, best to be sure that the party is going to be including me. I'm going to know the type of people that are in the party, that I'm going to see who's in the party. I'm not drinking nothing, not smelling nothing, not shaking nothing, not touching nothing, not just sitting anywhere, not looking at anything, not listening to everything. Um, like I already said, breathing, not drinking nothing, not smoking nothing, nothing. Not even talking to certain people. Because a lot of times, all of these things happen. That's why we have cases where people feel like they got assaulted. Because why? Nobody, they have so much money that they control your media and the things that you like watching that has all of these, what is it called? Comedy and drama. People love drama so much they can't live life without drama. They can't live life without gossiping, rumors, lying, fighting, violence. It's very subjectable to the aspect of how we live life. Because why? All of these things are based off of exploitations. These people, they will literally be like, we're gonna party, we're gonna have fun every single day. Like they call the diddler. I don't know this man, so I'm not gonna accuse him of anything. But at the end of the day, right, there are a lot of kids missing in this world. There are a lot of kids going missing, women missing. A lot of these things, there are so many women out here that are being held captive, that their own family sold them out as prisoners with contracts and all of these things. Kids, teenagers, and adults. Look at the commercials that you watch sometimes. Look at do you ever really look up their name where these people go on major advertisements and we don't know what they do in their personal life. We don't know who they are. We don't hear about them again. We don't see them in anything else. We don't even know the material of these clothing brands. Not all of them. And I'm talking about these iconic, weird designs. Some of them be having real human flesh, babies' bottoms, real people's blood and shoes. Do you guys not see what is weird about that? You got a lot of people that are scientists that knows about things, right, that are spiritual and sciencey, right? You are wearing something that has somebody's blood. Even if you put something that's going to kill the bacteria, somewhat you're still attracting the wrong type of message to these devils, demons, these nomads, these Nephilims. You're still attracting the wrong type of attention to these people. And people are wearing this at the bottom of their foot. You know what that represents? You're walking in death. You're going to attract a lot of negativity, bad things. The same way a lot of people are wearing crosses and they think wearing a cross is just going to make me look at them like you are a saint. No, a cross does not make you a saint. And neither do you need a reminder as to, you don't need a cross to remind you your walk in Christ. If that means that's the case, that means you're not walking with Christ. You're walking with the devils, the demons, because Christ is in your heart, not a trinket or a physical object. Now, it's one thing if an item is correlated to something that had happened in your past, right? Somebody memory, somebody's, trinket or artifact or item that, somebody passed to you that has a lot of value to you. But to correlate that to Christianity and Christ, mm-mm. But no worries though. It's a lot of stuff going on anyways. What else should I add on to this? Well, yeah, this is gonna be, and this is not to you guys speak, but I have to say this on a very open way to talk about this. A lot of you that don't know what I know, and I'm talking about the ones that are watching this, that are actually observing me, understand that if you're playing chess, why would I let you know how I play chess? Understand that chess is not a game of winning. It's a game of endurance and patience. As much patience as you think that I don't have, I'm pretty sure I have more patience than you and many more people that you think that they have patience. My vessel is not to take. It is not to take. All of this one, if it be someone, it's not somebody that you're going to expect. There are many more like me. To say we are one, not demons, devils, or anything like that. To accomplish the mission of this world and bring forth Christ and bring back order. However much patience you have, I'll hold on to your patience as well. So I will pray for you all, for the potential of your salvation. And now I'm talking now to the rest of everyone, heirs of our Father's promise. I know this took a left turn for a second, but I had to make sure that these things were said because for some reason people like watching me, but they don't understand that I don't rock with the good fellow show stuff when it comes to people trying to play a game with me. I'm that person. I will talk about it all day if I have to. And if I don't have to, I can still talk about it regardless. Money, women, power, influence it doesn't suit me. Those are your things. Christ said, what is of Caesar belongs to Caesar. What is of my Creator is unto him. So there's nothing that you can offer me. Simple. And I want every last one here that's watching this video to keep that in mind. Because a lot of people fail in these trials. They want to call on to the situation to be similar to Job, but they failed the tribes. I said the tribes, I mean the trials. They don't know the difference. They don't know that they're being tested. They don't know that it's about your weakness and your strengths. They don't know. They're gonna say when you're in deep in your personal belief of faith, they're gonna use every word, everything they're gonna try just to see what takes you off, just to see how well, right? When it comes to you accepting what they're gonna give you, which is BS, complete BS, and see how they're gonna manipulate you. First thing they're gonna do is, I promise you, they're gonna drug you up. Then they're gonna throw this little crazy mental thing at you. So if you never smoked weed, never drank, never took pills, never took no type of drugs, that's going to be hard. They're going to try to put you on drugs. If they can't put you on, if you were not already on drugs, they're going to put you on drugs. They're either going to do that or they're going to say that you have mental problems so that you can be prescribed drugs, so that they have something, some type of immunity upon themselves. There are aspects, there are layers to these things. Watch the colors. The women wear blue. The men wear pink. Watch it carefully. All right? I love you all so much. And for those that are still puppets and enslaved and you don't know exactly how to escape, please just pray for it. Pray on it. I didn't come to destroy anybody that intends to leave. I came to address those that are still stuck because they don't know how to leave. Well, they know how to leave, but they choose not to leave. A lot of you will fall. The time for order has come. Many of you have not known exactly what it means to repent. So right now is your favor. You're being favored to repent. Once that time and that clock runs out, it is the end. So I'm going to pray for your potential and for your salvation ahead of time. Pick the right choice. Much love to many of you. And somebody told you they don't love you today. Tell them I said I love them and I love you. All right? I love every single last one of you. Every single one. Don't let the dragon rise. Do not let the dragon rise. There's too many of them. The children of the vipers are out there everywhere, family. They're out there. Watch carefully who you accept in your circle. A lot of them, they didn't come to play with us. This is war. Love you all.